Girls, how are you today? Hi! I'm just sitting here, it's in the evening, it's about 8 o'clock at night, and I'm having a nice little glass of wine. I've just been sitting here creating something amazing, so you could probably hear my computer in the background. I just finished hanging out with my bestie, Alora, and tomorrow we are going to be going live on Patreon to talk about the full moon magic. Now, we have just created an amazing sheet to talk about the blue moon in Taurus that is coming up, which also happens at the same time as the cross quarter, the most significant cross quarter, which is the Samhain and Beltane cross quarter. Hi, Earth Mother. Hi, Salvador. Carias. So we are going to be talking about blue moon magic. We're going to be talking about the fact that the blue moon is actually happening during a retrograde of Mercury. We are also going to be talking about the Samhain Beltane cross quarter. And we have a southern hemisphere and a northern hemisphere perspective anchored in. Now, I wanted to let you guys know that this is happening over on Patreon. Whether you are a subscriber that only pledges $1 or you are a subscriber that pledges $12 for the highest tier, which is my Coven tier, this will be available to all of my patrons. It will go for 1 hour, and we are going to be talking about tarot. We are going to be talking about magic. This is what we're going to be talking about, in fact. So for the Southern Hemisphere, we're going to be talking about specific kinds of magic. I've got it all open here. We're going to be talking about fertility and sex magic, prosperity and money magic, star divination, sigil adornment on body to be activated, which is a really interesting thing for Beltane, and I'll go into that during the live stream. Fey magic, knot magic, adornment magic, crystal bones, you know, that kind of thing. Fire magic, revamping your altar, purification through fire and smoke. We're going to be talking about specific herbs to be used at that specific time as well. Joy and fun to loosen things up because, you know, Southern Hemisphere, Beltane, that's the time. Honoring the body, bone divination and charm casting, and drumming circles. And then for the Northern Hemisphere, which I just did say that we had both hemispheres covered, we are going to be talking about feeding the dead. We're talking about the Witch's New Year, mediumship, shamanic journeying to the underworld, shadow work, all types of divination and scrying, forecast for the years ahead. We're going to be talking about part with the year. We're talking about capitalizing on enhancing your intuitive faculties. That's going to be a juicy conversation, actually. Make a jack-o'-lantern, make mulled wine, trick or treat, herbs, and then we've got a specific arrangement or list of herbs here. We've got flowers and herbs associated with ancestral history. We've got delve into your witch's ancestry, astral travel and lucid dreaming, exploring the poison path and crossing the veil. So it's quite a bit of stuff that we're going to be covering in tomorrow's live stream, but it is going to be a dynamic and a really high energy type of live stream, and we're going to start off with a little bit of a introduction into the astrology and some really fun things that are going on as well. So we're really looking forward to that. We may be slinging some cards if there is time, but this is really about arming you with the type of information that will enable you to have really meaningful and exciting, more to the point, rituals, and also being able to tap into the magic of a blue moon. Blue moons are quite special. They offer a really interesting time to reach for the stars and, you know, all that kind of magic, which we are going to be talking about during this live stream. So this is probably one of the key aspects that we want to talk about, is how to tap into that energy to then really, really enhance your personal magic, no matter what magic you choose to do. It's also a great time to really sort of accrue a few ideas, to be inspired about types of magics and rituals that you can do to honor the Sabbath, because the Samhain Beltane cross quarter is when the veil is thin. We will be talking about the thinning of the veil as well, and it's a really exciting time to be able to tap into the mystery and the magic of that. And when we're talking about the thinning of the veil between the Samhain and the Beltane cross quarters, they are very different things, and that is something that we are also going to be talking about. Is what does it mean? What does the thinning of the veil mean? Especially in in correlation to the hemispheres. So we have really interesting and opposing energies between the Samhain Beltane cross quarter. One side is exalted, one side is shadowed. And we'd love to talk about that and how you can best tap into that energy to make sure that you are really, really connecting to the available energy and the available magic that is there. This is a great chat if you are a newcomer to magic. If you're a newbie witch, this is a fantastic chat for you. But if you're an experienced witch, this is going to be a next level kind of chat for you to help you to just maybe get out of your rut. I do find that I've been receiving a lot of comments and responses about, you know, my beautiful subscribers and just people that I interact with saying, well, this has been a really hard year. I'm kind of stuck in a rut. And a lot of people are also stuck indoors with family members and they may have to conceal their magic. So a little bit of a word about that will be mentioned as well during this live stream. So if you are interested in anything that I have just said and you would like to support me in any way in my creative journey on Patreon especially, these are the things that I like to offer to my patrons. I really do pour a lot of love and energy into really making sure that I give as much as I possibly can, and I'm able to get my beautiful best friend Alora in to help me out with this. And this has taken time tonight. It took us about 3 hours to craft this. And so we've got a beautiful PDF that you can download if you are in fact, intending on joining in on Patreon. We've got a beautiful PDF that you can download. So this exact PDF that we have created will be available to you to download, and you can go through that PDF and pay attention or listen to the live stream and get some really great ideas. If you can't make the exact time of the live stream, it will be there for you to watch as a replay as well, so you don't miss out in that regard. But if you can make the live stream, then that would be awesome, and I encourage you to make it because I'm super excited to be sharing space with you. It's going to be amazing. I'm very, very, very happy about it. So the blue moon in Taurus, I'm a Taurus and I'm so excited for this blue moon, even though there's a Mercury in retrograde situation happening, but there's also some stuff happening with Libra and I'm just like, mind is blowing quietly over here. But it is such a potent time, and it is a fantastic time to do all different kinds of magic depending on what hemisphere you are currently residing in. And this is something that we really want to dig deep on. We do not want to dilly-dally. We don't want to waste anyone's time. We are going to smash out this information and have this to be one of the most informative live chats that I possibly have ever done. That is at least the very goal. Honestly, I felt like I was in a magical rut since quarantine. I had the whole year planned and things. Yes, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And honestly, with everyone living so far apart and so much happening in the world at this moment in time, many, many people, and I assure you, you are not alone. Many people are just feeling a little bit like meh, like proper meh. And I can honestly say that I have been there. I can honestly say that it's been a really stressful time for me as well. But I don't want to dwell on that stressful time. I'm looking at lightening up my energetic load, if you will. And I just want to give a little something back. And I want to be able to offer this as a kind of open circle, if you will, so that we can actually impart some of, well, maybe I have some wisdom to impart. Who knows? I don't ever go around saying I have tons of wisdom to impart, but I definitely think that we've put together a really great list of interesting subjects to discuss, and we plan on running through those lists as effectively and as quickly as possible to give you some ideas. So when I say something like mediumship, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean exactly? What does mediumship mean? Exactly. Like, what does it mean? And so these are things that we can actually go through slowly, and I can talk to you about mediumship because I'm a spiritist. These are things that I love to talk about, and yet I seldom get an opportunity to do so unless I'm literally sitting in a spirit work session with another individual, with one of my clients, in which case I'm not talking about spirit work, I'm actually doing it. So I seldom get to talk about the concept of spirit work, and I love it, and I could bang on about it for ages, but I'm going to contain myself because we have quite a bit of stuff to get through. So I've lost my page. Gosh, she's hopeless today, folks. So I really do hope that some of you can make it. I know that Patreon is a financial commitment that has not escaped me, but it really is a way in which I can continue to create. And it helps me, it helps my channel, it helps my ability to be able to provide, it helps my ability to write, it helps my ability to video, it helps my ability to do so many things. Patreon has been such a saving grace to me as a creator as well. It helps me in so many ways, and the support and the community that I have over on Patreon is absolutely incredible. I am so grateful for every single one of my patrons. I can honestly say that we have cultivated such a beautiful space. There have been some ups, there have been some downs, but right now we are in the middle of initiations. We're approaching our initiations. And during our initiations, we start off with a 9-day sacrifice to Odin. Right now, that is the buzz. We are talking 9-day sacrifice to Odin, and this is specific to the Coven. And this is a great time for initiations. The veil is thin. We always run our Coven initiations during the time of the Samhain Beltane cross quarter, which means that it happens every time of the Samhain Beltane cross quarter, which is essentially twice a year. And so this is a time where we're talking about the Samhain Beltane cross quarter. We're talking about initiations. If you are already initiated into the Coven, then there is a 2nd degree initiation program and a PDF, which I just uploaded to the very, very private Facebook group for those who have already initiated. We have such a great arrangement over there. We are inclusive. We are respectful. We are located in all different parts of the world. We have such a great age demographic. We are all adults, but there is such a fantastic demographic of ages there. We have so many different cultures involved. We have so many perspectives. It really is one of those inspiring and respectful environments. And every day I'm working hard to make sure that it remains inspiring and it remains respectful. This is a work in progress. And so Patreon is still very new to me. It's still something that I am very, very new at. And so I'm discovering ways that I can create on Patreon all of the time. But if you've missed seeing my videos here on YouTube, then just know that I post almost damn well daily on Patreon. I have videos for Card Slinger, for Book Club. I have videos for Coven. So that's at least like loads and loads of content right there. We have Discord servers and all sorts of things happening over there at this moment in time. Our book club is running a fucking readathon. We're having a magical readathon with like Bonestone is a prize. I have a Bonestone deck put aside as a prize for someone in the readathon. I also have the most incredible ancestral DNA experience for a person in the book club, because that's how I roll. You know, I love to be able to give back to my beautiful patrons. I like to be able to give as much attention as I possibly can over there. And it is a way that I'm able to, you know, support my creative journey. It really is important to me. It is something that I want others to respect as well. And it is something that I am not very good at promoting, to be perfectly honest. I don't often go around saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But lately I have just felt like I have allowed myself to get small. And what I want is to celebrate my creativity, my creative side. I am a really creative person. I give a lot of myself. I spend a lot of energy, a lot of time. I want to give you an understanding of what my day has been like today. I got up at 6 o'clock. I was in the city by 8 o'clock, which is about a 45-minute drive from where I live. I'm supporting my dad, who's 73 years of age. He had a car service and he asked me if I could drive. He prefers it that I drive, so I drove him in. The car service ran late. I had so much running around to do. But essentially what happened was, I want to show you what I did today. So for you with Apple Watches, I did 14,592 steps, and I closed a distance of 10 kilometers and 10.36 kilometers. So that's a lot of walking around. And then I came home, I, played with my puppy. I, made myself a cup of tea, then I poured myself some wine, then I had a live stream with Alora, and we just put this together. We've had this on our calendar for a really long time, and we've put this together. This is time and energy that I put in. and I could be asleep right now. It's 8:22. I'm absolutely exhausted. I had a late night because I was up late creating as well for the second degree initiation program, which by the way involves a witch's fetish, a ritual. Oh, it's so good. I'm so excited. I'm so stoked. And so I was up late doing that and posting that to the private Facebook group for the second degree initiates. And then today I'm up doing this, and then I'm sharing this with you because I really do believe that it is time that I honor the work that I do. It is time that I celebrate the fact that I am creating so much, and it's time for me to just rise above all the bullying, all of the mistreatment that I have been receiving of late, and appreciate those of you who have been supporting me, who have been here, who have been with me, who have been commenting, who have been leaving me incredible messages, and just, you know, sharing your light with me. It is absolutely incredible. I would love to do a giveaway for my channel. I haven't acknowledged this publicly yet, but my channel reached 20,000 subscribers. It's now over 20,000. I'm not really big on those milestones. I apologize, but I do feel like it's the done thing when you hit a bit of a milestone to do something. So I would really love to offer something, and it's just something that I'm planning in future. I'm also right now absolutely backed up with readings, and you know, every time I spend creating in a different arena, I am taking time from somewhere else and putting it here. And I've just been so very busy with the bone stone, and it's just been such a hectic time for me, honestly. The bone stone is almost at the end of its mail out. You know, with everything that's happened with the bone stone, I am so happy to have it out in the world. And I've got to say that I have been approached by quite a few publishers to see if I would be interested in releasing a second edition of the Bone Stone. Now, I had contemplated it, but right now what I need is a bit of a holiday. And so I am just here. This is something that I can do to just relax. This is relaxing to me. This is relaxing creativity, a place where I can collaborate with my very best friend who has been calling me every day and supporting me through some of the darkest times. Honestly, I've had some really dark times, folks. This has been a hell of a year, and I'm not just saying that I'm unique in that, because I know that other people have also been having one hell of a year, which is another reason why I just wanted to do this incredible live stream and share it with you guys, because this is an opportunity for us to just focus on some light, focus on some opportunity, focus on some positivity, focus on some magic, and be supported as we do so, because we are going to be it's going to be so jammed packed. I cannot emphasize this enough. And as you can see, I'm very excited. I swear I'm not drunk. This is my second glass of wine, and I haven't really been sipping it, as you can see. But I'm on a roll today. Something's happened, something has aligned, and I'm a very clear and concise speaker today. These are my favorite days. I have these types of days, and whenever I'm doing readings, I really relish in being able to speak without tripping over my words. Gemini moons really fuck me over. So I tend not to do readings on a Gemini moon. But look, folks, it's been a hell of a year, and I just wanted to be able to sit here with you and tell you that, you know, even though I haven't been 100% here with you and going through it publicly with you and acknowledging things on a very public scale, it's not to say that I haven't been experiencing them myself. It's been a massive year for many people, and I can honestly say that I have been keeping to my corner quite a bit because of it. And honestly, I've had so much thrown at me from people out there in the world, and they're really aiming to bring me down. But fortunately, I have had creative people with massive audiences, people in my subscribers list, friends of mine just say that, you know, I really need to focus on what is beneficial to me, on what's great for my state of mind. This is also Mental Health Awareness Month here in Australia. I'm not sure if it's a global thing. I think it's a national thing. Don't quote me on that. But it is a really fantastic time to start focusing on the positive, and I found that I was directing my attention to the dark side quite a bit, and I'm done with that. I'm absolutely done with that. I know that I'm not perfect. I understand that nobody is perfect. We all attempt things. We can all fail. We can all make mistakes, but it doesn't mean that we're terrible people. It just means that we've tried. And when we've tried, we have in fact achieved something by just putting ourselves out there and trying. And that's what I did with the Bone Stone. I tried something. It didn't work out to my plan, but the Bone Stone is out there. 1,000 copies. They're out there and people are enjoying the Bone Stone. They're reading with the Bone Stone. They're doing unboxings. Sure, there might be like hate channels and hate groups and things like that, but really it's so minute that it's not worth my attention. And I would rather be giving my attention to this, to creating beautiful things for beautiful people and having this type of beautiful conversation with beautiful people and just sharing in what I love to do, which is to create. I am a tarot reader, I'm a videographer, I'm a photographer, I'm a writer, I'm a tarot creator, I'm a mother, I live off grid. I have so many amazing aspects that I can focus on that it is ridiculous that I even thought that I needed to dwell on the negative. So rather than dwell on the negative, please do consider joining me on Patreon in any capacity that you're able to, and allow me to have this incredibly magical experience with you. Here's hoping that Mercury retrograde doesn't at all interrupt the flow of my live stream, because I'm going to be sitting here with my beautiful kitty in the background. I'm in my kitchen. I live in a tiny home. I live off-grid in a tiny home, in case you didn't know this. I have notebooks over here, laptop over here, wine over here, a pile of books, actually a new oil that came today. This is a gift from a subscriber. It's a Bone Stone oil. Like, how special is that? And the lady that created this oil contacted me and said, hey, I've been approached to create an oil for the Bone Stone and I just wanted to touch base with you. And when I say lady, I'm talking about Juniper Moon Apothecary, one of my favorite oil creators. I have tons of her oils. It's crazy. This smells beautiful. You can see that there's a sultry earthiness. I wouldn't be inclined to rub this all over my body, but I would definitely be inclined to anoint candles. Maybe like a little drop on the hands and like blow it onto the deck so you don't have to oil up your deck, that kind of thing. So really, really beautiful, potent stuff. So I'm keen to add that to my Bone Stone. And I'm honestly just feeling so fantastic at the moment. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling positive. I'm feeling vibrant. And I want to create so much more. I would have honestly vlogged for you guys today, but it was such a hectic day. I thought, I'm just going to vlog because I had something that I wanted to talk about. Today I wanted to talk about the magic of syncretism. You know, my family roots, they have been a calling. I've received phone calls from some of my elders back home because I've been going through such a difficult time, and I forgot just how interconnected my web of ancestry is over there. And this is something that I went into quite a great detail about. Does that make sense? I went into detail about in one of my Patreon spaces. So I do a lot of live streaming over there. Just like I'm streaming here off my phone, I stream on the book club. I stream on the Card Slinger tier. I stream on the Coven page. We have dedicated Discord channels. We have a Black Owl book, which is, we went for the owl study mojo sort of thing, and right now we are studying the, wait for it because it's here on my kitchen table. We're studying Old Style Conjure by Star Cassis. We are comparing this to Stickstone's Roots and Bones by Stephanie Rose Bird. I think I've got that name correct. We're not trying to pit one against the other by no means. We are just sort of seeing two sides of a coin here and trying to immerse ourselves as respectfully and concisely as we possibly can with a subject matter that is foreign to many of us. So we want to be able to educate ourselves to the best of our ability by absorbing and tasting and sampling works. So we go through this book, we practice elements of it, we try out exercises, and this is fantastic because we get to do this, we get to experiment respectfully and honorably within a community who is also looking to achieve the same thing. Respectful experimentation. We want to know about specific things, and we want to do so in the most mature and educated capacity that we possibly can. So we really do dissect our books, and it's fantastic. As for our readathon is freaking magical. Honestly, I created like personas of witches. You had to choose your witch, and then a couple of days later the prompts for the witch that you have chosen were revealed, and then you choose books for the prompts that you have aligned, and then throughout the entire 2 months readathon, because it ends in December, so you've got 2 months to really chalk up some reading and to hit some Goodreads goals and all of that type of thing. I've got surprise prompts scheduled for all times of the day and night. I respect the fact that my book club members come from all over the world, so I am actively putting things up at 2 a.m. my time, or 5 a.m. my time, or 2 o'clock in the afternoon my time. So it's like a full I've contemplated everything, and I'm really, really excited. The chat on the Discord channel is absolutely hilarious at this moment in time. People are there, and this is how you learn about really great books, folks. This is how you learn about what people are reading, great recommendations, those sneaky little books that you may not have heard of. It's fiction and non-fiction for that matter. You can read short stories, novellas. You can really do graphic novels. You can do anything, because our scoring system is per 100 pages read. So that way, if you read an 800-page book, then you're getting 8 points for that book. And I've just finished Blood and Honey, and I don't think it was 800 pages, but it was quite a few pages, so I earned that. And I'm about to crack into. I'm also reading, or I've cracked into The Damned by Renee Attier, which is the sequel to The Beautiful, kind of a New Orleans setting, vampire, that kind of thing. Very, very exciting. But it gives us an opportunity to play around with fiction novels, talk books. I'm also reading Backwoods Witchcraft, or Blackwoods Witchcraft. I forgot the name of it. So I'm listening to that on audiobook at the moment, and I just finished The Kiss Quotient. So I'm all over the shop with my readings, but honestly, I'm having such a great time with the readathon, and engaging with readers is such a healthy thing for my brain, because when things were getting really stressful, I would spend my time reading rather than burning hours in front of a screen. Not that I'm against that. I do love me some Netflix from time to time, but I prefer to read, and sometimes I'm just not in the mood to like nourish my brain. But I want to read, I want to be entertained. And I find that it's really good for my visualization and really good for my imagination. Like, it's really good food for the brain to read. And this is why I created a book club, is so that we could all share in our love of books. I've got Card Slinger. I just finished doing a full rundown of my Bone, Stone and Earth Flesh Tarot. When do you get to see a really in-depth critiquing of a deck done by the actual creator of that deck, like explaining to you why I did the things that I did, why I chose the things that I do, why things came out of my imagination. It was a pleasure to do, and I plan on doing so many other videos about it, because people have been asking me for Bone Stone stuff. And with the Coven, we are in the process of planning our Coven wheel. So the common wheel, or the typical wheel, sorry, I've got an itchy nose, which is the Anglo-Saxon wheel of the year, or the Wheel of 8, the Witch's Wheel. We are planning on going in and creating our own. We have been engaging in quite a lot of discussion, like daily practice. We're in the process of creating our daily practice. And we are honestly in the process of creating, oh God, I've got an itchiest nose. Sorry, I'm so sorry. We've just looking at creating a activated shaker jar for daily practice, and the video that I was meant to upload today, but I've been out all day, it's going to go up tomorrow probably, is a video of the things to think about when you're doing so. So I do a little bit of how-to magic, I do a little bit of, daily practice stuff. We are going to eventually dive into immersion into Aphrodite. So we are going to be working with the goddess Aphrodite. We're not typically accustomed to working with too many deity aside from our 9-day sacrifice to Odin, but Aphrodite is an element that I thought we could really get into, because it's self-love, it's luxuriating, it's a sensuality and self-pleasuring, if you will, not to take that to a dark place, that I think everyone just needs. we just needs it, okay? We just need that. It's been a hard year. I mean, I don't know. I stocked up on face masks today, folks. Face masks, because, you know, I respect myself. And, you know, we've been talking about doing all those beautiful types of things. But as initiation approaches, then the first degree initiates are going to go into ritual space, and it is the most intense experience. I have yet to have a single witch go through this very well designed self-initiation process and come back with anything other than, whoa. I'm good at this. I'm good at this. This is my like badge of glory right here. I'm good at this. I have gone through so many initiations. My very first one was when I was 7 years old. I have been initiated so many damn times for so many different things. And my coven up north was an initiatory coven. So I'm used to conducting initiations, I'm used to experiencing initiations, and initiations, rites of passage are my jam. So when I designed this one, it was with all of the experience that I had to offer as a hereditary initiatory spirit worker and witch. And so my second degree initiation is just chef's kiss good. I unveiled it yesterday to my soon to be second degree initiates, and they are like, oh my fucking God, I'm freaking out. Like, their response was amazing. So I created a beautiful PDF so that they could run through that PDF and just follow through. And then the pièce de résistance will be the actual path working, where I drum and guide and sing the ancient songs and take people through that experience in a very virtual but very tactile way. I'm yet to have a problem with it. So I'm really, really excited about all that we have to offer over on Patreon. It really is a dynamic space, and it really is a space that I'm interested in calling in more beautiful people. People who are genuinely in alignment with what it is that I do, who are not egocentric, who are not interested in taking over or you know, running off with whatever, with my creative works, because that's happened to me before. I've actually had people steal my creative works. Recently, I had you know, people that I was associated to completely lock me out of a Facebook group that I built from scratch that has 10,000 members, and they have all the excuses in the world for why they've done it, but they still did it. They still removed the creator from her creative space. And so all of these things have been happening, and rather than getting upset about it, I've had my moments, I've had my vents. What I want to do is I just want to get back to that process where I feel passionate about creating, where I am in the mood to shine bright and to attract those types of individuals who genuinely want to be there, not because I'm forcing you to, not because you feel obligated to, but genuinely resonate with what it is that I'm doing. I'm not trying to push myself on you in any way, shape, or form. I'm simply sharing what it is that I do in the hopes that if you are in any way in alignment with what it is that I do, then you can come and join me and I will support you. Our beautiful environment is something that I pour so much love and attention into, and I give time and energy to all of my beautiful patrons. I had a book club live stream where only one was able to attend because it was short notice, and I just whacked it together. Unfortunately, it was a hectic week and I had the kids all week, and I'd been meaning to post this, and I could only get to the posting on the Friday, so it was just very short notice. But in that moment, I was able to have most beautiful one-on-one experience with one of my coven witches, and she was telling me the most amazing story, and I'm so invested in her story. And we as a coven are so invested in one another. You know, our daily practice is designed to add power, strength, vitality, prosperity, abundance, and vibrancy to every coven member. When we shake our jar, say our intention, and carve out our sigils for which we have, it is designed to tap into the essence of who we are as a coven, as well as each community member. So it is a beautiful space, and I'm telling you, some of the women in this space, all of the women in this space, some of the men in this space, we have men, we have women, we have people from all over the world, and honestly, they are incredible. I want to show you something. I'm just going to tilt this over here. See that beautiful candle over there? It is so big. One of my Coven brothers, Jason, made it for me and sent it in a big birthday package. It is absolutely amazing. And so since I was out of the house today, I didn't get a chance to really engage in daily practice. So I said a quick prayer. I lit it up. I smoke cleansed myself. I spritzed myself because I've got salts and oils and sprays over here. By the way, I got the most incredible spray. Oh my gosh. Today I went to the Page and Carp. Hi Lynn, if you ever see this, went to the Page and Carp. I actually spoke to pagans, real living human beings. I'm so used to talking to people online that I forget what it's like, and I honestly go insane when I speak to somebody that is talking to me about magic and ritual and metaphysics. My mind is actually blown because I spend so much time online rather than face-to-facing with people. So today has been a really up and down, incredible day. I'm exhausted, I'm tired, and I finished it off by creating this beautiful live stream. Everything is G'd up. The Zoom link is there in Patreon right now. Everything is ready to go, and Alora and I are just so damn excited to be talking to you about this because we have such amazing ideas for you, ideas to practice, words about the astrology of the moment, ways to tap into the energy of the blue moon, really ways to connect deeply with the cross quarter depending on where you are, Samhain or Beltane, whichever one it is, and we just want to offer that spoken word support. Sometimes we can get stuck into that place of just reading and looking and listening rather than having a human being talking to us and saying, hey, you can do this and you can do that. And it really, I benefit from that. I love that kind of thing. You know, I heard about a potential maypole experience happening, and I'm just like, I want to go to that. Like, I want to go to that. You know, I love having the interaction and connection, interaction and connection with people. And when we're live, we can do that. And if you can't make it live, as I've previously stated, you can in fact watch the replay, and I will add subtitles to it so that if you are hearing impaired, you are also able to watch it or enjoy it as well. So we do have some members of my Patreon, especially my Coven, who are hearing impaired, and we try to be very sensitive to them. So whenever I do a guided meditation or a path working, I get it fully transcribed professionally, and I add the transcription so that those who are listening, they can also read along, and it's very helpful to those who just need that little extra something. So I try to be super considerate where I can, and really make sure that I'm looking after my beautiful people. Hello Claire, how you going? So folks, if you are at all interested in supporting me over on Patreon, I know that lots of people have Patreon. I know that it's an overused thing. It's a platform that people are tired of talking about, but honestly, it is one of the places that I spend most of my creative time. You know, for tarot things, like every new moon, or almost every new moon. I missed a couple because bone stone stuff, but every new moon, pretty much, I create a new moon tarot spread. I, give art prompts and journal prompts. There are some times where I feel just inspired on a Monday to do a tarot reading for the entire week. There are some times that I post up intuitive exercises. There are some times that I just feel like doing a random live stream. There are some times where I do this, and this is for everybody, and every single tier has dedicated content. Yes, but for everybody, I throw in a lot of time and energy, and I just want you to know that even though I'm not here 100% of the time, I am there nurturing a space that treats me well. And, I haven't been treated very well of late. And I'm not saying that that's because of YouTube, because I'm not mistreated on YouTube, to be perfectly honest. It's very easy to ban people from my channel and delete comments and those types of things. But when I have such a solid and supportive environment and people that are interested in what I have to say and that are really engaged to the point where they are prepared to financially back that, that confidence in me, it means the world to me. It means that I can support my family. It means that I can live off grid. It means that I can live a beautiful creative life in this way without having to do the things that I have done that many people have to do every day, and just it would crush my soul if I couldn't do what I'm doing. Honestly, it came to my attention yesterday. I'm having a little bit of a celebration moment that I have been creating online. I have been creating online in one form or another for 10 damn years. 10 years. And, you know, I've had all sorts of people approach me saying that I don't have a right to this. But who are they to say that I don't have a right to live my life the way that I want to live, using the talents that I have been given and applying the passion and the creativity that I have inside of me? Like, who are these people to tell me how to live my life? And who are these people to tell you how to live your life? Nobody has a say in how you choose to live your life. No one. Nobody has a say in how I choose to live my life. I do so with as much purity and intention as I possibly can. Yes, I make mistakes. I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. But at the end of the day, I still go to bed at night thinking, yes, I'm a good person. I'm a nice person, because I look at the people around me. I look at the blessings that I've received, and I think to myself, people who are genuinely evil, they don't get this type of opportunity. They don't have these experiences. They don't have this support. They don't have this love, this peace, this compassion, and this connection, you know? And I have gone through a really hard time, folks. This is probably why I'm speaking about this a lot more than I typically have or do. But I have gone through a lot of trouble, a lot of angst. I have been seriously harassed. I have been bullied. My name has been dragged through the mud. And all because I tried to create a tarot deck, all because I'm an indie creator that tried to create a tarot deck. Now, many things happened with my tarot deck, and I acknowledge all of those. But I am looking forward to actually enjoying the fact that I created a deck, that it's finally gone out there in the world. I want Anna to have that beautiful experience of being able to celebrate her artwork and have people look at that deck and truly respond to her artwork. I've been getting incredible feedback for my book that I wrote. I can't believe I wrote a book. I can't believe it. You know, when I say to you that I sit here and I write, like, I wrote a book, like an actual 325-page book for that matter, I will have you know. And I'm very proud of myself. And for a while there, I wasn't even able to enjoy that because people were really bringing me down. Like, peeps were just like trying to, like the tall poppy syndrome situation. But I'm done with that. I'm absolutely done with that. A couple of days ago, I filmed a vlog. I haven't filmed anything fresh and new for my channel for a while, and it felt so good. I had to sit down with myself and watch a couple of hours of Don't Let the Haters Bring You Down vlogs on YouTube to be inspired enough to release the guilt that I have about posting a video, because suddenly I just felt unsure about everything, to be perfectly honest. But now I'm just like, I've given myself a good pep talk. I've allowed other creators to give me a pep talk. I have a beautiful support system giving me pep talks. I have great family. I have great friends. I have incredible subscribers giving me pep talks and giving me the props and saying all the beautiful things. So I'm here and I'm doing it, and I'm going to continue to do it. I'm going to continue to do it. I'm going to do so much of it that it's ridiculous. I'm going to create so much that it will blow your mind. So this is how I start. I'm offering this beautiful full moon chat. I am looking forward to doing initiations over in the Coven, looking forward to vlogging more on this channel, but just know that every subscriber that I get over on Patreon helps me to be able to vlog on this channel, because it is extra time and energy that I spend in creating here. And I love creating for YouTube. I've met so many beautiful people through YouTube. My best friend, Alora, I met her through YouTube. She's getting married soon. She lives in Australia now. I can't believe it. We've known each other for years. We've met in person. She's visited me. She knows my children. They know her as Auntie Laura. Like, isn't that just incredible? Like, the beautiful people that you've made. You know, I have made so many incredible friends here, so I would love to continue creating on this channel, but it does support me to have people supporting my Patreon, because there is infrastructure to creating a channel and upholding a channel. Like, there's equipment that I need. And I started off so small with a laptop and a webcam, and now I've been able to get, you know, better quality lenses and cameras and computers so that I can create better quality videos. I'm subscribed to things like Epidemic Sound, which costs me every month. I've upgraded and I've bought Final Cut Pro. which was a $500 outlay for me. I edit my videos. It takes me time to film it, plan it, film it, and then edit it. It's time out of my day to do that. And so far, I do that mostly for my patrons. And, you know, I would love to be able to get more support on Patreon so that I can create more here on my channel, so that I can become one of those prolific creators. Prolific's the wrong word. Just a creator that just creates a lot. That's the one that I'm going for. Prolific's the wrong word. So I want to be able to offer the, you know, the most that I can possibly offer. You know, I am a single parent right now. Like, I live off grid. I'm a single parent, and, you know, I have my children every second week. So I have them for a full week. And, you know, when they're here, I try not to do very much because I want to spend time with them. And when they're not here, then I smash out the content like so badly. I smash it out. I'm live streaming like I am right now. I'm doing all sorts of things. I'm creating PDFs. I'm creating videos. I'm editing. I'm doing readings. I'm doing all sorts of things. And then when they're here, I'm just like, oh, babies, my babies, my babies. When they're not here, again, I'm smashing it out. I've got such a, it's like a breathing situation. Like, I inhale and they're with me, and I exhale and I'm like, there's that creative expression. So I'm breathing in and I'm exhaling. And that's how I see it. Like, every 2 weeks, I've got this inhale, exhale thing happening every 2 weeks, which is my cycle of breath right now, especially for creativity and mothering. So I have an inward experience, I have an external experience. And if you are a parent or a caregiver, a primary caregiver, you will know just what I mean. It is very difficult to manage everything, you know, and I'm primary manager of this 28-acre property. I have to look after solar panels. I have to look after water tanks. I have a puppy to look after. I gave my chickens away because they were being feral and they were also attracting quolls, and I didn't want that. I have to make sure that the yard is snake proof. I have to cut wood and stack wood and do gardening and maintain the yards on top of everything else that I have to do. I am such a busy person. I have so much on my plate, and the only way that I can do that is with the support of those who actually appreciate what it is that I do, who believe in me, who want to support me in some way, and who connect with the type of content that I am planning on providing more of every single damn day. So I'm tired of being small. I'm tired of being bullied. I'm tired of being made to feel terrible for who I am and what it is that I do. I'm very much interested in sharing what I have. I am at this very moment in time, especially in my Coven page, talking about my hereditary practice in a most profound way. I'm talking about major shifts in my witch's practice. That is really a conversation that I want to have in private with people who are prepared to listen and understand. It's not something that I'm interested in putting out there. I'm going through massive changes as far as my practice goes, and something massive is happening in my family at this moment in time, and these are things that I am talking about on my channel. You know, I'm doing all sorts of things. Tomorrow, I'm going to be filming a prosperity bowl for Oshosi. We're going to do some Oshosi magic tomorrow, which is going to be really fun. So I'm going to do a traditional Umbanda, you know, Macumba kind of prosperity bowl, and I'm going to put it up there just because it feels like it. You know what I mean? So I've tapped into something better for myself. You know, I've been reminded of who I am. I've been reminded of where I come from. I've been reminded of the type of, you know, light and spirit that I have inside of me, and it's just, it honestly is something that sometimes we just need to be reminded. Sometimes life can be really abrasive and we can just lose very minor slight layers of who we are because of all the stress, all the angst, all the anxiety, all the things that we have to deal with time and time again. And honestly, when the opportunity comes to share space with people who inspire, take it. I'm not saying that you have to do that with me, but just take it. You know, today I was standing in the Page and Cup, and I was interacting with people that I'd never spoken to. But the fact that I was speaking to human beings made a massive difference to me because I am so insular in my practice. And I speak to people when I go out in my community, I have lunch, in my favorite little cafe. I interact with people, but when it comes to magic, you don't find that many down here that talk about it. And so when I found this pod of people and Lynn at the Page and Cup, who, if you live in Tasmania, by the way, please do go and support Lynn. She's amazing. Lynn was introducing me to people who introduced me to more people who had just immediately looked me up and went, oh, I'm going to introduce you to some people. And, you know, it was such a beautiful experience. And I was invited to speak at a function, you know, and, you know, I've got interviews with a few different publishing houses for the Bone Stone. Not interviews, but meetings. I'm not sure that it's something that I want to pursue yet, but it's definitely something that I'm entertaining. And there's so much happening. There's so much shifting in my life. And I want to enter a phase of exhalation, of celebration, of community, of respect, of kindness, of support, of creativity, of passion, of magic. You know, I want to enter into that phase, and I want to be creating more. I want to be able to, you know, just give more, create more. It's just so important to me as a person. You know, if you had approached me some 10 years ago and asked me if I was a creative individual, I would have told you, no, I'm not. I'm not a creative individual. I don't know how to draw. Because in that time of my life, creativity and art were somehow intertwined, and yet I wrote every single day. I actually have a secret poetry Instagram channel. My Coven know about this. Some of my Coven sisters know about this. They've asked me and I've given them the link, but I don't tell people, and you won't know it's me. I don't sign off as myself. There's no photography about me. There's none of my usual, you know, joie de vivre, but I have a secret poetry channel that I created on my birthday, which was in May of this year. Because I had Gordon of Rune Soup sitting here having a birthday drink with me. My dad was in here. He was having a chat. And he said something to Gordon about the fact that I used to be such a beautiful writer and a poet. And he looked at me and he's like, oh, such a Taurus thing to do kind of thing. And I'm like, shut up. But my dad was really upset about the fact that I wasn't writing anymore and that I'd somehow just lost that spark. So I set the intention on that day. And since May, and we are now in October, I have written poetry for a secret IG poetry account. That's my thing. And I write and I journal. Like, look at this. I want to show you my readathon page. I'm pretty banging proud about my readathon page. So this is my tally page for my readathon. It's very simple. I haven't quite filled it out in its full completion yet. But they're my prompts because I've gone for Spirit Witch. Her name is Alma, which, by the way, if you speak any Portuguese, means spirit. So cheaty there. Prompts are spirit, ancestor, tradition, animism, death. Got to get a book cover of a specific color and a death deity. I'm into it. Then I've got my point score over here. I'm super into it. 2-month readathon from the 4th of October to the 4th of December. So if you haven't joined, you still have time. Especially if you love to read, you can smash it out. I've got some really great prizes. And I've had a few people join in the interim, but it's such a great experience, and we do quite a bit of live streaming over there. Anyway, folks, I feel like I have flat out talked at you for a while, but I thank you for joining me and so much for hanging out with me, actually. I'm a bit tie. I might actually retire for the night. It's been a massive day. I've been awake for longer than I've been asleep today. That's official. Just let the hair down. Oh, yeah. Look at this mane. Look at this. My hair's gotten so long. It's time to let the hair down. It's time to shut the laptop. It's time to just give myself a pat on the back. So, beautiful souls, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And thank you for all of those who support me. Thank you for those of you who are already my patrons or who have just signed up to be my patrons. I love you. I thank you so much for enabling me to continue to create on this beautiful platform in a way that is just so nourishing to my soul as a human being. Like, I really cannot thank you enough, and I really do need to do some shout outs. By the way, I'm creating a little space on Patreon on Patreon, where I'm allowing my patrons to pick the content that I do for my vlogs. I haven't actually broken that news to my patrons yet, but they get to choose any damn thing that they want, and I will do a vlog on it. I will. That's how we're gonna roll. So beautiful people, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will check in with you again soon. Look after yourselves. I hope the world is being kind to you in some way, and if they're not, just know that you're not alone, that there are people out there who are having a hard time as well. But the most important thing to understand and to consider is surround yourself with really good people. Just try to surround yourself with really good people and try to keep some really good thoughts in your mind. Breathe, ground, center effectively as often as you can. Develop a daily ritual. Sometimes just lighting a candle helps you to shift your mood. And sometimes writing a very simple petition helps you to shift your mood. Sometimes saying a little prayer, a little chant, a little spoken word charm can be everything. You know, if you were going to ask me what I do, I wake up, I light my candle. From my candle, I anoint myself with Florida water. I have some polar sandal actually sitting on my my wood stove. I have a variety of candles that I use. I have some sprays that I use, and I have a ton of anointing oils in my bedroom as well. And I just have outdoors in the sunshine, and you know, every day I get up and I try to give myself as much kindness as I possibly can. And I understand that I'm the only one that can be super kind to myself, and that it's time that I stop being so harsh on myself. And sometimes that's something that you have to come to terms with, is that you've been a bit harsh with yourself. You've allowed the expectations and the pressures of the world around you, the opinions of others, to get to you, and you have been harsh with yourself. You've allowed that to seep through. I get you. I've been there. I feel you. But it doesn't have to be that way. You are in charge of who you are. Your light is yours to shine as brightly as you want it to. And you have something beautiful within you that is worth sharing. And so never be afraid to be who you are. And I'm just sending you so much love, luck, peace, and joy. Look after yourselves. Mwah.